In this video, I'm going to be giving a detailed explanation on what an inducement is. Now, inducement has a whole lot to do when you are trading the financial market. In fact, it is part of the major things you need to learn when it comes to trading the financial markets, because it has to do with liquidity, and then how you can be able to recognize areas of inducement, how you can be able to recognize areas the market will take you out and move in your direction. It's going to help you to recognize that. So it's going to save you a whole lot of stress of entering the market too early or exiting the market too early. Also, it is going to help you to know where to enter the market, so that the market does not just take you out and start moving in your direction. Also, it will help you know where to place your stop loss and how to move your stop loss. Yes, it's going to help you to know how to move your stop loss. Hello guys, if you're new to this channel, just hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I drop any video. So yes, I'm going to be making this video based on the case study of the current trade I am on. Based on the trade I am on right now, that is what I'm going to be giving an explanation on. So I'm going to be using the 1 hour time frame. I'll be using the 1 hour time frame. This is Volatility 101 hairs 1 hour time frame. If you would love to also trade the synthetic markets, just check the description box to be able to get a link to register for synthetics, where you can be able to trade 24 hours in 7 days. Okay guys, so this is 1 hour time frame. Don't mind all these markouts. I think I need to delete them so that we can start on a new page. All right, now when we talk about inducements is actually a way of tricking traders to the market. Inducement is a way of tricking traders to enter the market. It is an enticement for you to enter into the market. Now, once you enter into the market, the big guys or the banks, they just dump it on you, and then they take your stop loss and still move in your direction. So inducement is actually an enticement. Inducement is an enticement. Now, based on this current trade, I'm going to give an explanation. I saw something so beautiful that I needed to explain to you guys based on the current trade I just took. So if we check the 15 minutes time frame, we had a low, we had a high, then a low, break of this low, then we have another high, then another low. Now, when you are marking out your inducements, immediately we add a break of this low. This high becomes our inducement for this range. This high becomes an inducement for this range. Now, after we add the break of this particular low, this high turns to an inducement for this range. Inducements are always the most recent high or the most recent low created after a break of structure. Inducements are the most recent high or the most recent low created after a break of structure. So we have the break of structure to the downside here. This is our recent high, so it becomes our inducement for this range. This high becomes an inducement for this particular range. Now we have the break of structure to the downside. This is our inducement. This is our new inducement. Now, after we created this high to the upside, remember this is 15 minutes time frame. After we created this high and we broke the low, this becomes our inducement area for this range. This becomes the inducement high for this particular range. It becomes the inducement high. Okay, it turns out to be the inducement high for this particular range. Now, if we create another high, after this high, that same high becomes our inducement for that range. So we created a high. This is the high we created. This was the high we created. So this becomes an inducement for this range. Now when market breaks this high, you are not calling it a break of structure, you are calling it an inducement until we come back to break this high. When market breaks this high, that is when you can term it break of structure based on that time frame. Based on that particular time frame, that is where you can term it break of structure. Now after we took out this high, the market took it out as an inducement. A whole lot of traders will be looking forward to join the sell from this sponsored candle. From this candle, a lot of traders will be looking forward to join the sell. Now if we check the 5 minutes time frame, checking the 5 minutes time frame, market reacted to this area. You can see we had a long week. People that trades weeks, people that trades candle confirmation, they would have entered the market immediately after we had this rejection. They would have entered the market to continue to the downside. But what did the market do? The market took out this high as an inducement. It took this high as an inducement before breaking to the downside. So we'll go back to the 15 minutes time frame. So this high becomes the inducement. This high turns out to be our inducement. Now you're sure that when market breaks this particular high, we have a break of structure. When market breaks this particular high, it turns out to be a break of structure. We term it break of structure because when we have an inducement, when market has induced, that high becomes our major high. So this becomes our major high. So when we take this high out, we know that we have a break of structure. We know that we have a break of structure with this particular high. Taking out this particular high, we are terming it as a break of structure. Okay, we term it as a break of structure. Now we had a change of character. We have the change of character here, and what we are expecting is to join the buy move from this particular range. We are expecting to join the buy move from this particular range, but this market did something else. Immediately we had a break of this high, the market came back to break this low. Now the reason the market came back to break this low is because we had weak rejections. That is weak rejections. It is not strong rejection. We had weak rejections here, and most often when market wants to give a good movement, it gives good movement from a strong rejection. So this is a weak rejection, and if you check the 1 hour time frame, this particular high is an inducement. If you check the 1 hour time frame, this particular high is also this particular high is an inducement. This high is an inducement. If you check the 1 hour time frame, this high is actually an inducement. Remember, we have time frame differences, so this high is also an inducement for 1 hour time frame. Let's check the market. So this is it. We had a high, a low, we had a high, which this was our first inducement. We are waiting for the market to come here, and after we had a break of structure to the downside, this is our inducement high. Now if we have another structure, the next structure is going to be our inducement high. So we had a break to the downside, market created this to the upside, then came back to break this low. So this eventually became our inducement for this 1 hour time frame. Remember time frame differences. I have talked about this time frame differences. It is the last video. My time frame differences is the last video. When you check my channel, it's the last video. So this is an inducement for this 1 hour time frame. So when the market comes back to take it, we are counting it as an inducement, coupled with the fact that we had momentum to the downside. The market gave a good momentum to the downside. So this is our inducement high for 1 hour time frame. This is our inducement high for 1 hour time frame. Now remember, this is not an inducement when we have something like this. And market does not break this high. If market does not break this high, then we come back this way. Now this is not an inducement low. Because we refused to break this structure to the upside. Until we have this break of structure to the upside, when we have it this way, then this can become our inducement. This particular low can become our inducement. So based on this 1 hour time frame, this is our inducement. On the 1 hour time frame. Now we had momentum to the downside. There was a strong momentum to the downside. So the 15 minutes time frame might not really be useful for you to pick out your inducement based on the momentum to the downside, so that you don't get confused along the way. So the 1 hour time frame is actually a good way to mark out your inducement. So we had an inducement, coupled with the fact that on the 15 minutes time frame we had weak rejections. There was weak rejections on the 15 minutes time frame. All these lows are weak rejections. We had these weak rejections. So after we had this structure to the upside, then on the 1 hour time frame, after we broke this, then we came back to take this low. This becomes our major high. It becomes a characteristic for a major liquidity, such that when market breaks this high, that is a break of structure. When market breaks this high, we term it to be break of structure. Now the 15 minutes time frame had already given me this inducement break of structure. So I know that when market comes back to break this low, we are going to have a movement to the upside based on confirmation. So I just used the 5 minutes time frame to confirm. I used the 5 minutes time frame as my confirmation. Also, this is another example of inducement. I woke up this morning and then I saw this. I almost got confused until I checked the 1 hour time frame. I almost got confused. I wanted to leave the market. Now we had a break of structure to the upside. The market moved to the upside. We had another break of structure. Market came back to take this low as an inducement. Then we had another break of structure to the upside. So this becoming our characteristics for major high. This is our characteristics for major high. Now we had a break of structure to the upside. Market came back to this point, but it did not enter into our points of interest. Market did not enter into the point of interest. So we had the break of structure to the upside. So I know that this is my inducement. So when market come back to rate this, I'm going to term it as my inducement. So market came back to rate that particular low and used an area it used the SC candle to continue to the upside. We had a break of structure to the upside. Now basically this is for this 5 minutes time frame. This is my major low. For this 5 minutes time frame, this is a major low. And I am not expecting the market to come back to break this major low. I'm not expecting the market to come back to break this major low. So checking the 15 minutes time frame, it is very obvious that this is also an inducement. Our market has taken out the inducement. So I checked the 1 hour time frame and I noticed that this is the last break of structure to the upside, and this is a base candle. so that when market breaks this low, that is when we will be expecting the market around this area. So it was this 1 hour time frame that gave me the clarity. Now if you want to mark out your inducement and you want to be very right, I'm going to suggest that you use the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hours time frame, the daily time frame, and weekly time frame. Don't use lower time frame, except you want to use it in entering the market, except you want to use it for your confirmation in entering the market. But if you want to use it as a major analysis, I would suggest that you use the 1 hour time frame and the 4 hours time frame. So you can see, guys, we had this structure on the 1 hour time frame, but based on the 15 minutes time frame, there was confusion. Okay, there is a whole lot of noise on 15 minutes time frame, 5 minutes time frame. On the lower time frame, there is a whole lot of noise, so that is why you need to be careful. Now we have something on this 5 minutes time frame. We had a break of structure to the upside. This has become our major low. So after breaking this structure to the upside, this is an inducement. Now when market broke this high again, this is still an inducement. When market broke this high, this is an inducement for this particular range. So when we have another structure created above this high, that is when we can term this place as a place we are expecting the market to come to, and market actually did that. We had a break of high to the upside, so this becomes an inducement for this range. This low becomes an inducement for this range. So when market takes out this low, we're expecting the market to come into this area and then continue to the upside. So guys, that is how you mark out your inducement level. And ensure that you are using the time frame differences. Check out momentum in the market, so that you will be able to know the time frame that will be very useful for the inducement. Just like this 15 minutes time frame did. We had a break of structure, but that was not a break of structure for us because we had good momentum on the 1 hour time frame. So market cannot just fly up that way. Market will still consolidate, take out buyers, take out sellers, and then start moving in a proper way. Okay, it will start moving in a proper way. It deceived sellers into the market, it deceived buyers into the market, and that is what the market seeks to do: to take your money, to take the money of the buyers, to take the money of the sellers, and then just leave you to yourself. So you have to be very careful. Inducement is very, very key when it comes to trading the financial markets. Once you are able to understand this, you will be able to know the movements of the market, when to expect your break of structure, when to expect an inducement, and the like. So when we already induce a particular high or low, when market comes back to break it, that is a break of structure for us. So we had a break of this high. This is a break of structure for us. So you just have to look for ways to continue in the movement of the market. And that is how you trade your inducement. See you in the next video, guys. Keep living in the atmosphere of profits. Bye, guys.